Hello and welcome. So you join me here at Sandown Airfield, and this is a RANS S6. It's an American aircraft. They've been building them for years. This one was built in 2006, this one, and it's a great little aircraft. It's got a Jabiru engine in, 2200 Jabiru engine, 4-cylinder thing. Yeah, it's really good. It's sort of the medium to lower end of the market for microlights. You can spend a fortune on them, like hundreds of thousands of pounds. But yeah, she's a good aircraft, except the skins. Now, when it was built, it gets covered in a covering called Dacron, which is like sailcloth. And over time and UV, it gets damaged and it gets weak. The stitching gets weak and also the skins get weak. So it is very overdue for a new set of skins on it. In these hangars here, it does get wet, condensation and stuff like that, which doesn't help. And it is tatty, and it looks tatty, and it is faded, and you get mildew on it and nasty stuff. But we're going to change those, and I thought I'd do some videos on all the problems that we face. Now, I have reskinned one of these before. The aircraft I have before was another RANS. It had a little 2-stroke engine in, and when I bought it, it needed skins anyway. So I have recovered one of these before with Dacron. Now, the covering that we're going to use for this one is Xlam. Now, Xlam is a much better material, and it's kind of almost like a plasticky cover, but it's so much better with UV. The stitching is so much better with UV as well, and it's stronger, and it's just better. It's just a lot better, and she'll look brand new. It'll be white, so I'm going to have to cover the cowlings. I'll probably get them wrapped or something like that rather than painting them, but let's see if we can get the skins on first. So that's what we're planning on doing. Like I say, this is about 18 years old, this aircraft, and it's the original skins. There's an aircraft over here which is a thruster microlight, which is actually the one I learnt on. That is Xlam skins. That is older than this aircraft, yet if you wipe that down with a damp cloth, it should look brand new. So it is a no-brainer. It's a pretty, it's the right thing to do, and it deserves it, because you're just adding value to the aircraft as well. You're not going to lose any money from doing this. This is it's a good exercise. Now, the skins are expensive. They are expensive, but you don't do it every day, and to replace it with Dacron, if you can get them redone, then do them in Xlam. The skins are from a guy that I bought the last lot from, who does them, and his name is Nigel, and he's up in Wales. Top Flight Sales. So if you've got an aircraft, he does X-Airs and things like that, which is another form of microlight. This is a microlight aircraft, by the way. It comes under that category. Then he's doing them now for the RANS, and there's a few people that have done it already, and so I thought, yeah, we'll get it done while the weather's a bit murky. The aircraft run on a permit basis, so like an MOT for a car. That's had it, I say recently, it had it in July, so she's got a permit. It doesn't need a new permit to have the skins, because I asked. It's basically maintenance. It's a big job, but it's maintenance. So as long as you can say what you're doing, how you're doing it, go write it down. They love paperwork, the LAA. There's the LAA or the BMAA. They're the two bodies that look after sort of microlight aircraft. You're either in one or the other, and then the CAA are here. So that's who you are. This aircraft is registered with the LAA, and they love paperwork. They love paperwork. So as long as you write everything down when you have a cup of tea and all that kind of stuff, then it all should be good. I do have an inspector on the island, Tim Buckley. He knows everything about everything. He's very good and very wise. So he's going to sort of come and just have a look, just go, yeah, that's fine, yeah, that's fine. And then while the skins are off, we're going to go and do all the other bits and pieces as well. So the frame of it is a steel frame, but the rest of it, all the wings and everything, is alley. So all the tubing in the tail section, that's all alley as well. It has to be lightweight. So when they're off, when the skins are off, we can have a really good look at everything under there, because you don't take them off every day. We're going to clean everything, and we're going to treat everything. We've got a load of ACF 50. I'll explain about that later. It's what the aircraft people use for things. It's amazing stuff. So that is what we're going to do, and I'm going to do a few videos to show you. We're not going to do it in this hangar. Dan at the airfield has very kindly let me use an actual real life hangar, which is, it's not the one I built the other aircraft in, but it's the one at this end. So when we get it moved up there, we'll have everything set up, and you'll be able to see what's involved and see how bad it is. It'll still fly now. So she is still good to go. But yeah, you can join me on my adventure. So we are going to take it out for a little flight because it's a bit cloudy, but it's not raining and there's no wind. Windsock's sort of sagging over there. See it? You can tell how strong the wind are by how much the windsock goes up. It does it. You can work it out. But anyway, it's not windy. So first thing we're going to do is take off the cowling using these quarter turn things. They're a bit fiddly, bit of a pain, but anyway. Put them in your pocket and make sure that you count them all when they go back in. Also with your tools, that's why it's good to have a shadow board. If you have a shadow board, aircraft don't go out unless everything is back on the wall. You don't want to leave a screwdriver in there or anything else. So take the cowling off, fiberglass cowling, and we're going to check the oil. And everything like that. Cowling off. Engine. Jabiru engine, Jabiru 2200, 4-cylinder engine. Aircraft, we've got 2 plugs per cylinder, so 8 plugs in total. It works on a magneto system. 2 rotors, 2 cores, and then if you have a problem with one side, it will still has it's almost like a redundant system, but it works on pairing. So if you have a problem with one magneto, the other one can still keep the engine running because you can't get out while you're in the air. Yeah, we're going to give this a check over, check the oil and stuff, and then check everything else. Obviously, stick some fuel in it, and run it up, and hopefully go up. So I always turn the prop a few times by hand because you can listen for any noises that you don't want to hear. In the direction of rotation is always good as well. Gives you a good time to check the prop. This is a new prop, this one. The old one was okay, but it made of a tree. It's good. Good time to check it. And you can check all the points and contacts and things like that in there. Just check everything's good. Like I say, you could do the gasculator, which is down there, which we'll do. And pop the cowling back on. Put some fuel in it. Right, fueling. Morrison's. E5, not E10, E5. It'll be all right. You can run the engine on avgas. It's very expensive. But E5's okay. You can run it on that. It's got wing tanks in this, so each side you can see the vents there where I'm pointing. They face forward. Although if you turn them the other way, it can siphon the fuel out. So you face them forwards, and you've got to. The idea is to balance it out a bit. It's a microlight, so you've got to kind of balance the weight. If it's just you flying, you put the fuel in this tank. If you're with someone else that's on the heavy side, then think about where you're putting the fuel. It just helps. It'll still fly, but you should try and even it out if you can. So we've got 20 litres. That's all we've got. It's there's not a lot in it at the moment because it's not good to leave fuel. You either leave it full up or empty is the idea with fuel. But if you're not using it, you don't want to keep fuel in there, especially the newer stuff. That's why we use the E5. Yeah, we're going to put an even amount in both tanks, so I know it's level, and go from there. That's what we're going to do. So get the most ricketiest ladder you can find. It's terrible, this ladder. Open the vent cap, and I've got an old one, but it was Christmas. Santa gave me a new pump. They were made by Aileron or something, and it sits in the top of the jerry can. Clicks into your jerry can. New pump, and I'm using the old extension, as you can see, to go into the tank. Good bits of kit they were. Yeah, if you can get the can above, you only got to pump it a couple of times and it'll just siphon out. But if you're below, you just pump it a few times. But apparently you can empty a can in about 35 seconds. But we're going to do it nice and steady. And one thing you've got to remember, this is perspex. If you splash fuel on that, it will graze and crack and mess up your windscreen. So it's got a few little grazes in it where it's had it in the past. But yeah, you've really got to be careful. Fuel just eats away at all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just be careful. I'll show you how to connect this. It's easy. Straight in. It's got a filter on the end of it as well, which is handy. All the way in. Just watch it if it's a full tank. And obviously for temperature as well. If you open a can, just, you know, careful don't splash everywhere. On there like that. Keeping it away from the screen. Go around into the top. See how good it is, shall we? No comment. You can see the vapour. It's the vapour that catches fire, not the fuel. Shouldn't do it inside a hanger. We're semi-outside a hanger. We're on the flat. I just want to see what's going on in there. It's leaking from there because that's the old join. And inside here there's a sight glass goes down the length of the tank, so you can see how much fuel's in it. That's how we know. Oh yeah, put a bit more on this side, a bit in the other, we'll be good to go. So some checks before we take it flying. Obviously we've had the cowling off and checked the engine. We check the tyres, check they're all good. Check this, there's a suspension on the front there, we check that's good. Do all this, I need 2 hands for it. Then we check all the joints, all the pins, if they've got any pins that need to be in and secured. We walk round. Got to make sure we remove that. It's a pitot tube. It's the cover for that. It's to make sure no spiders and things live in there. We check the skins. And even though they're filthy dirty, it will still fly. We check all the ailerons. We check all the flaps. We check all the control surfaces. We check all the tension of the cables here. They take the load. The elevators. We check the rudder. You can actually tip it back and check the top as well because it is very light. Right, that's tip it right back, you see. Very light. Yeah, and we check all the controls inside as well. The controls inside. We check for movement, range of movements. Check everything works. Check everything does what it's supposed to do. Any pins and things are in that they're supposed to be in. And once we get the engine running, obviously, we check all the T's and P's, they call them, temperatures, pressures on everything. Yeah, we check the radio, we call the tower, check the radio, and check everything. Seat belts is another one you've got to check as well. And then she's good to go. But like I say, I need 2 hands for that, so that's what I'm going to do. Let's take a moment to talk about insurance. So, if you go flying all the time, then you can get insurance, which is it's similar to car insurance, really, for an aircraft like this. You can either pay the full whack and go flying whenever you want. That's fine. But there are insurance companies that the one I'm with, which you can choose which policy you want. So you can either pay the full whack, no problem, or you pay a minimum amount which covers you for all the stuff on the ground. If that was to suddenly combust and burst into flames, it's covered on the ground. If you want to go flying, however, it will cost you about 30–40 pounds a day for insurance. Okay, I've got the middle one. So the middle one is you pay a bit more, but then they throw in a load of free days for you to go flying, which is nice because I don't fly anywhere near as much as I should. And if you get, you'll never pay more than your actual top insurance would be. Let's say it's £600, for example. So you'll never pay more than £600. But the middle one, your days are set. So it's about £11.50 for a day. So once you've used up all your freebies, it's £11.50 per day to go flying. You've got to log on. If you do it a couple of days before and the weather turns out rubbish, then you can cancel it and they'll put it back on. But unfortunately, if you do it like now, today, and you do it and you go, oh, it's a bit rubbish up there, you kind of lost it. So for that reason, and the fact it's getting on and getting a bit dark already, the clouds are coming in, and in 2 hours it's going to be dark. So it's like, do you want to waste a day's worth of insurance to go up for an hour or so, or should we just hold off and go when it's even better and get more out of the day? That's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag it out, I'm going to run it up and get it warm. It's an air-cooled engine. You don't want to get it too hot, but we just want to run it up, and it's good for the oil, good for the engine to keep these things running. So that is what we're going to do today, because it's gone a bit on the murky side. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's the right decision, I think. So we're going to give it a run. Key in there, hasn't been run, so we'll give it some choke. Just down there, all the way out, nice. Select a tank. We're going to use the right because it's the right tank on. And what you do before you start the engine is you check you've got full travel of the throttle, so all the way forward, all the way back. You don't want to do it when the engine's running, so it moves. So that's good. So give it a nip of that. And what I always do, you noticed I turned it by hand earlier, I'll always run it over before I start it up. So I'll turn it over on the engine, then I'll turn the mags on, and then we'll start the engine. Hello. So yesterday I was going to give the aircraft a run, but it wouldn't start and it's got a flat battery. So it's not just a case of undoing a flap and pulling the battery out. You've got to actually take off underneath here, which is a bit of a pain. So we're underneath the aircraft, and let me get a light, hang on a second. So you got to take off all the fuselage covers, well, some of it. It's got like a Velcro strip, and then underneath that it's all the lacing. I'll show you. So you undo that, and we have to undo this lacing from up here all the way back to about here, I think. And then we have to go up inside, and then we can gain access to the battery. So yeah, it's an absolute ball ache, but needs must. So paracord, that is. Obviously this is all going to get replaced, but it gives you an idea of how they're held together. It's like Blue Peter, it's just string and sellotape. It'll be a bit of a pain. And the skins, you get a soldering iron and you burn the holes. That's how you fit the skins. So you're gonna take the lace out to a point, just like that. Ball ache. Till we get down so far. And obviously it's the laces that gives you all the tension, so when you do want to put it back in, it's that's what you use to tension it up. Sorry. So we go to about there, and we can open it up, and you can have a look inside if you want. It's grotty in there because it needs cleaning, but you get the idea. Down in there, and the battery is in that box. You can see the red. I'll show you in a second. Come on this side. The battery is in there. So this will be fun. So there's the battery. It's a nice Violet red top, which is quite good. It's a fairly new battery, but if things get stood, they need to, you do need to charge them up. But you can see I've undone the lacing, undone this Velcro strip that just covers the lacing. We can gain access to the battery. Got to remove the bar, that little bar there, and then we can take it out and she slides out of the box. So that's what we're going to do next. So currently trying to remove the bracing bar that goes across the battery. So you've got to remove a split pin. There's a split pin either side. And it just goes through and it holds the battery in the box, nice and secure and snug. So we're going to pull the bar out, put that somewhere safe. There will do. And then we'll wiggle the battery out. In case you're wondering what this is, it is actually to boost it, but it needs a charge. The battery needs a charge. You can't just keep boosting it every day. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it out, take it home in the wall, and give it a nice charge. So hide that out of the way. 10 on there. Plus I don't know where the other half of that's gone. It's in here somewhere. It's just so much tucked in here. See? It goes there. And then, as if by magic, out comes a nice Violet red top battery, which we're going to charge. And while we're here, I thought I'd show you the what it's like inside. You can see all the alley. If I put the phone up there, see the alley frame. You can see how mouldy it is. You can't get to it. That's the problem. So all these tubes are going to get checked, and all the wires and cables and connections are all going to get checked as well. And inside, this battery box is there. And it's a bit critical where you put the battery, because it's all to do with your the weight and balance of the aircraft. So it has to have a weight and balance check, which we'll have to do after we've put the new skins on anyway. You're supposed to do them every now and then, just to check that it's not gained weight and things like that. So yeah, another job on the list to be done. So to do the skins, we're going to need a few tools and things like that. So we have things here. We have socket sets, metric, imperial stuff as well. A lot of it's imperial on there. Some rulers, metal rules for measurements and cutting nice straight lines. Some trestles, you've got to put wings and things on things. Also got something to lay on, a jack down there, rickety step ladder, because all this is going to go in the other hanger. Some axle stands, because you've got to take the legs out. They've got to come off in order to put the covers on around the body and the fuselage and stuff. We also need tape measure, something to measure nice. Bags, resealable bags, some calipers, some cable ties, rivet gun in there, something for the bus, and then there's proper paracord to lace it all up. Yeah, and loads of cleaners. There's loads of cleaners and buckets, extension leads, blue roll. What would the world be like without blue roll? A heat gun, which I have got a heat gun, like a newish heat gun. And can I find it? Can I? No, I can't. So I've had to buy another one. So I've got another heat gun, got a 2-year guarantee. Because you fit the skins. The idea is you fit the skins, fly it, tighten them up, fly it, and then retighten them again, and then any loose bits you can use a heat gun on. Not too much heat, but anyway. And that's it. Other bits and pieces, but we'll go through that a bit nearer the time. Hello again, you join us back at the airfield. So what's happening is I had a problem with, it turns out it's the battery shagged, so I need a new battery, even though it's a new one. Guarantee coming out for that, I think. So I've run it until it's with the fuel off. I did get it started, by the way, so it's had a nice run, and I've run it until the fuel's run out. So there's no fuel in the car, but now I need to drain the tanks. So that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to empty the into a jerry can, 20 litre jerry can under there, and we're going to open up. I'll turn this light on, you might be able to see a bit better. Down here, can you see that? There is this bit here is a gasculator, so I'm going to open the valve down here, and hopefully fuel in a moment will drain into the jerry can. That's the plan anyway. So that is what I'm going to do. If I can get that open. I've cut my finger as well, so it's one of those days. So that's open, and then we're going to open up one of the tanks. Doesn't matter which one. And in theory, you should have fuel. Alright. Look at me using my phone, there's fuel. We'll let that drain. Drain both tanks, and then I can go in the car. So that is what we are doing at the moment. And then I'm going to clear out the cab with all the bits and pieces, headsets and radio and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, going to whip that battery out. That's the first thing I'm going to do. And then the process will get started. I'm still not sure how I'm going to do it, whether I'm going to do it in sections, if I take sections up to the other hangar and do it in there, or whether I take the whole thing up and just drag it up there. Still a bit unsure, but it's cold today. It's one of those thermal days today. So we'll see how we get on. I'll let you know. So while the fuel is draining into the can for the car, we're going to start taking a few things off. Going to get the doors off. Don't need to mark the doors because they're pretty obvious where they go. But there's a metal flashing that goes along here. The bit that rattles mainly when you're flying. So we're going to take them off, but we're going to mark them up using a Sharpie and some masking tape. So I've got to mark everything up. And port and starboard, the way I was taught to remember port and starboard is port, the colour of it, and how horrible it is. So it's port is red and best left in the bottle. So port is red, so it's the red light if you see any planes in the sky, and best left in the bottle, left, it's your left. So that's your port side, and that's your starboard side, left and right. That's how you remember it. So that is what we're going to do right now. So, removing the doors. I've done one door, doing the other door now. Now the RANS as standard comes with like a flat bit of perspex, and you can open up the door, and there's a hook in the wing, so you can use the handle and hook it, and it will stay up. But these doors are bubble doors, so they bow out slightly, so it doesn't have anything like that, so they kind of flap around. The idea is to get some little rams like you get on your boot and your car and that, and get some little ones, and so they can actually stay up when you open the door. That'd be nice. But for now, yeah, we'll just taking off the doors, just perspex and just some screws. You can see we've taken off the trim that goes in here, so you can get access to the wing and the wing pin. I'll show you all that in a bit more detail a little bit later. But yeah, that's what we're doing next. Wings with some tools. We're starting to get a little bit dark outside now, but doors are off. I don't know if you can see the trim panel that normally goes here. That's my plaster, look, made it up. Trim panel that normally goes here is gone, and I've taken out the baggage bay at the back, so that's gone. You can see how mouldy they are, mildew. Like I say, it gets wet in here. So they're off, and we're just starting to take off the wires, keeping all the bolts and everything in place. Go on the sides, you can see how saggy the skin goes once you start taking off the lacing and stuff. We've got to take off, we've got all sorts of crevice pins and all sorts going on there, clips and that. So we've got to take off here, castle nut, there, got to take that off for the rudder. Eventually when we do come to take the rudder, we'll do them separately. We'll mark up everything and take all these off when we come to do the skin. We need to take off the control for the elevator. It's been off recently, but that needs to come off as well. And then we need to take off the hinges are on the top. I'm not sure if you'll see them. And mark them all up. And then yeah, eventually you have to take out that bolt, and obviously that bolt and that bolt as well, and they all need to be marked up. I mean, with the light underneath it, you can see the ribs. What you need to do, the light shining up from below. One of them is a real pain to do. I think it's the tail. I think it was that was a real pain to do. You've got to kind of build it in situ. More cables, they need to come off as well, and also the trim. We need to disconnect the trim, which would be a rivet, I believe, up there, and take it across there. So yeah, it's slowly coming apart, and obviously keep the bits nice and safe. I've got the doors stored up there, they're safe out of the way. Just trying to take bits off to gain access to everything. I think what I might do is try and take the tail sections off, get them off, and then take the cover off to a point. But there's lots of rivets that need to be done on the roof. The screen goes over the top and then goes onto a plate across there, which then goes into the metal frame, and the skin goes over it before that's riveted down. So they need to come off in order to lift that, to pull it up around there. There's a couple of other things that need de-riveting as well. So it's a drill job really, lots of drilling to get all the heads off the rivets. And yeah, I think that's what we'll do. And then we can get inside, we can give it a really good clean out there, and then go from there. And then obviously, yeah, wings off and things like that. Need a few people to help me with that really. So yeah, that's where we're at. Hi, it is a horrendous day outside today. Really, really yucky. So we're going to continue taking things off. We're going to take these controls off, and then we're going to take the elevator off. I've got the drill today, so we're going to drill out some rivets and do across the roof as well. Lots of imperial and stuff, but if you get the right sizes, you can use metric, because they're not on overly tight. So we'll start with what's on there. Let's try. Just like lock nuts, trying to keep everything together, so when it goes back in all the same holes and stuff. These little tags on here have got separate holes on, so you can adjust it very, very slightly. So we want to try and, because everything's going back the same, it's just the skins. So take that off, everything goes floppy. So that's that one. Put the nut back on. Just 2 pinches, and I'm not going to lose it. And then the next one is 7/16, which 11 I think you can get away with. Until my dad turns up with his tools. So my dad knows everything about all this. Yeah, if you tell him a size, he'll know exactly what it is the other way around. There was a split pin in there, by the way. I took it out, so Yeah, it's a castle nut on this one. Like I said, these have been off recently. So you can always, an idea is to take photos so you know exactly how everything was orientated when you took it apart. But I mean, it goes without saying, you have a washer next to it. It goes on the nut side. So lift. Drop that bit. We'll recover that and carry on, and we'll do the other side. So what we're going to do now is we need to take off this teleflex cable. This controls this, which is a trim tab. It's only on one side of one elevator, and all that does is it gives you so you don't have to hold the stick. It trims the aircraft so you can fly it nice and straight, and in theory let go of the stick. So just a trim tab. That's all it is. So we need to take it off. Now, a lot of these things are on aircraft are fixed with certain nuts and bolts and fasteners and things like that. They have to have a secondary fix. So if it's a castle nut split pin, you can use nylogs, but not on exhausts, obviously. And then a lot of things on aircraft are wire locked like this. So we have to get rid of that and undo that, pull it through, and take off the cable. Then we can get to the top, and we can start to take the hinges off for the elevator. That'd be the first thing, or the first things to come off. I had to drill out the clip there, little P-clip, rubber P-clip, just holds it in place up there somewhere. And of course, my drill bits are terrible, but as my dad is so organised, he's got the old Golden Virginia tins full of stuff, like every dad should have, really. So he's well organised, and yeah, it's his fault that I do flying, to be fair. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't do this. Right, we're going to remove the hinges, start to remove the hinges. So we need a set of these. If they're only small, you can either bend it round, cut it off, or pull it through. I just pull them through, just like that. So it's a split pin off, and they're not in there very tight. You can sometimes get away with it with just fingers, but just get it going. So it's a 3/8. So use like that, and you'll see that the actual tail is joined to the aileron with this Velcro, so you can undo the hinges and just let it hang on the Velcro. We've undone everything underneath now, so once I've taken this off, we can then unvelcro and remove our first part. Our first control surface, isn't it? Always make a note of the orientation of the washers, which side of the hinges they sit, because it does make a difference on when you go to refit it. So the hinges overlap, which way they overlap. Make a note of that. Always good to know. Try not to drop anything on this floor, because if you drop it in here, chances of finding it are very, very slim. One of them, one of them. And there's a washer under there as well, which I'd like to catch. Get that back in there, like that. There. And pop these bits back on. Obviously they're going to all have to come off when you take it to the bench, but for now, that's the hinge off. So in theory, we can separate this. Move you back over there a bit. In theory, there again, doesn't matter. So one finger on there. First bit of aircraft, see the difference. So See? You can hear it. I'll show you some bad bits when we get to it. So there we are. Elevator. Got to strip it down. All the brackets and stuff have to come off. And yeah, first bit off. We'll do the other side. Hello, you join me at the tail section. So we're up the world's ricketiest ladder, and we're about to take off this now, rudder. Once the rudder's off, then we can start on the fin. So we've taken the split pin out. All we need to do now is undo the bolt. Like I said, it's held in the middle with the Velcro. So it will hold itself up, and then we can just pull it off. Handy, isn't it? Ta-da! Rudder. Okay, we've just taken the bolt out for the stabilizer here. If you're wondering why it's got a hinge on it and they pivot, it's because this aircraft has got wing fold, so you can actually fold the two wings. They fold round. You take off the bottom two cables, like we've done already on this, and then this folds up, and you can stash the wings, just in case, I don't know, you end up having to do an emergency landing in a field somewhere, and you have to have your mate from school come and rescue you. Anyway. Okay, next thing we're going to do to get this off, I've loosened the top wires. They are loose, so we need to take this one off. We've taken that on off. What I'm going to do is take this off and then lower it down. It'll hang on those cables for a bit, but that's not a problem. And then we can just undo and take to the bench. That's the plan. These are captive, the bolts in here, which is handy, so you don't have to get inside to undo them. So we'll just whiz these off, and then we'll do the other side, and then we can eventually take the fin off. That's off, and that lower down like that, not losing the bolt. We'll put a bit of tape on that, and then we'll take the top off, and away it comes. So that's most of the tail removed. We've still got to take this off, fin. Connected to the skin, the main fuselage skin, are these little hook things here. So we need to take these off, and they're probably very crunchy and crispy, and that will allow us to pull the skin forwards enough to get this off. So that's one, 3 of them in total, and then we can obviously, we're going to clean up all this back end anyway and make it look nice and pretty. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now you can start to see the inside of the fuselage. Oh my god. No, it's alright. It'll be fine. Have to clean it. So now we can get up inside, and we can get to the bolts to finally take off the fin. That's what we're going to do next. So we're going to remove the fork. I've marked it up, top and starboard, because that's important, because these are all set. So what I said earlier about marking everything up. So it's a double lock nut. Just undone. Pull the bolt, and then you should be able to push the control and pull. Slide out. We've got to take it out because it's the skins, to fit the skins. So we do that, and we do that. Ta-da! And then we'll put the bolt in the correct orientation. Aircraft bolts down. If the nut falls off, it stays in. Unless you're doing loop-de-loops, which this can't do. Well, it probably will, but only once. So it's held on with a bolt at the front, a bolt in there, and that rivet. That's what we're going to do next. Rivets out, bolts out, it should slide out. There we are. Captive, see the captives on there? I'll turn it around. See? So we're going to put them all back in the right place, and then we won't lose them. There. No tail. Okay, are we ready? I haven't looked yet, so it'll be, you're going to get my reaction to this. I pulled the Teleflex through and everything else through, so in theory it's all unlaced at the bottom, all the tails off. I should be able to fold it back so far. Can't get it all the way off the front because I need to undo all those rivets on the screen, but should we have a look? Okay, let's have a look. Well, there we are. It's a bit grubby, but it's like its original covers, 18 years. So a couple of little bits need a bit of attention, but I reckon you can clean that. Should be all right. You can see how mildewy it gets. I'll show you a bit more. So here it is. The aluminium tail section. That we're going to recover. But a bit grimy. But you know, it's just dirt. These are plastic coverings, kind of protects the skin when it's on. So I'm going to pop all those off in turn, clean all the tubes in turn. I'm going to check all these plates and everything. It's the battery tray. You can see how grimy everything is. And the one thing that I am going to check on this is underneath here. Now on the other aircraft that I recovered, the first aircraft that I recovered, these sections here are called longerons, all the way to the front, all the way to the back. The aircraft I had before had an incident before I bought it, and it had been repaired. So it had been flying, but what had happened was it had a tail strike. And when I removed this, I found a massive split on the longerons. I think it was about here. So there was a big split, and I reported it to the LAA. I sent them pictures, and I was in the magazine, which was nice, me and my dad. So we had to get a whole new one of these. But yeah, it had been flying like that. So people, obviously, until you recover something, you don't know. So luckily we did recover it, and we found the problem. But yeah, it all looks good. That needs replacing. That's tatty anyway. But you can see how disgustingly mouldy it is. And this is just the fuselage. This is kind of not the easy bit, but it's slightly less fiddly than the wings. The wings can be a real pain. So we'll get onto that at some point. We'll have a look round. It's better in the daylight. And then it bolts into the steel frame. I say bolts in, big rivets bolt into the frame. Down there. Holds it on. It's all held on just old school, simple flying. They're all like it. Aircraft underneath, tubes and frames and wires and stuff. It's just they all cover it up with pretty things, and this one you can see everything. Yeah, and there's the battery box at the back. You can see where it's got to be for the weight there, because we have to do a weight and balance once we've done it. But there we are. So we'll continue by taking the rivets off the top, along the top of the screen, and then start to take it off a bit more. A bit of a nightmare is going to be to get the legs out. These have got to come out in order to fit the other skins, and I reckon they're going to be a proper pain, because I'll have to jack up the back end carefully and remove those, and I might get the brakes skimmed at the same time. So there we are. That's how far we've got on the great cover-up. We've uncovered some of it anyway. And we've got the tail sections off, of course. Bits over there, bits on the bench way over there. Good. Right, so the tail's stripped, which is fine. So now we're going to move into the cab. So what we need to do here is we need to, anything that the skins go through needs to be removed. So we've got these teleflexes here, which is for the flaps. So we need to remove this carefully, wire locking on there as well. We need to sort out and keep safe. We need to take the pins out and take these off. They're for the ailerons on the wings. It's all got to come out anyway, because we've got to get the wings off at some point. And then you can see how it's sort of laced in and how grotty it is. So that is what we're going to remove, and then you can see the tail out the back. Ooh, look at that. So that is next on the list. Right, that's turned out to be a bit of a pain. That's the teleflex out, so we need to get these out. There's nuts the other side, so it's time to unlace this section now. And I've undone this, so it should pull through. And then it's a case of more unlacing under there. These have to be de-riveted, but we'll see how far we get today. But that's the next job, is to unlace it. Starting to run out of light now, but doing a little, just a little once over. We're going to treat all the metal, so it starts off real grimy. Grimy, but you can clean it up all right. And we're going to treat it to a load of ACF 50 at some point, and that would be lovely. So we are getting there. Let's see all the way through to the cab now. Yeah, good. So as you know by now, the skins on the aircraft get damaged by UV and time, and you can see the difference in shades. This is the underside, and that's the top side. And although it looks faded, if you give it a poke, you can hear it creaking for a start. That's the underside. Top side, like that. It will just go through. You see? That's how the UV damages the skins. That's why we're replacing them. So yeah, that's junk. And when it's got the new skins on, she'll be lovely. So that's the reason why. So either the stitching fails or the skins fail. There is a thing you call a Betts test, which is like a hook. You put it in, pull it, and it'll pull, and it needs to pull a certain weight before it tears. And that's the Betz test, doesn't it? It gives a little few marks in the skin. But you can put your finger through it, it's not a good sign. But it would have, you know, carried on flying like it, but it needs doing. It's quite bad. So that's the reason we're doing it, and she'll be lovely when it's done. Hello, so here is the elevator for the Rans. It's off. We're inside because it's cold outside. So we're going to take this off and rebuild it. Turns out these are ridiculously awkward to rebuild. Basically, it's one bar, goes all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. That is one bar, and then another bar goes across the bottom, and it's held in by the hinges, the hinge bolts. This one's cleaning on both sides, so you've got to pop them out. And then there's a brace that goes down the middle, and to assemble it you've got to feed it in under tension, try to get the ends in, which is a pain as it is. Then you've got to get the brace in. There's a little like pin inside there and a pin inside there, and this bar has to come in, slot in, and you have to pull it down using string and pushy things. Massive ball ache, massive ball ache. But that's what we're going to do. And just so you can see, this is Xlam. This is the skin that we're going to recover the whole aeroplane in. You can see the material, like a plasticky sort of, bit like tarpaulin, I suppose, but thicker and better. So that's what we're going to replace with that. And in true Blue Peter style, here's one I made earlier. So that, you can see the fingerprints, but that will come off. But that, you can see the bar, see with the light, that bar there has to go in. So you can see how much of an absolute pain, oh, hit the light, how much of a pain that was to get together. But that is the port side elevator, the aeroplane. So that one is done. That's the first bit to go on. So there we go. So it is happening, but very slowly. That took me 2 hours to get that together after taking a break for a while because there was lots of swear words. So there we go. So it has been done. One has been done. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Hopefully everything will get slightly easier. I know the wings can be a bit of a pain, but let's try and get this done first, and then we'll move on to the rest of the bits of the tail. Right, I'll try and show you how I took it apart. So I've taken the hinges off. This is all going to be cleaned properly, and all the bits of alley are going to be coated. We've got some ACF 50 just to treat everything and check everything out and check it's all good and everything's good. So that's what we're going to do. But to get them out, you knock it on the floor, push the hinge over the top of the latch there, and then it will give up like that. So, see that? That slides out. Like that. And you've got a little one on there which the support sits into, tube. Okay, we'll clean that up. And then this bit, literally, that's that. Pull, pulling out of the bag. There we go. That's the other one, you just about see it on there. And then in here, you have a support bar. So that end slots on one of the pins, and then that's got the cutout, and you put it in on one of the pins, and then the other pin is here, and it slides on and locks into place. Clunk, like that. It's held under tension. So that is how you take them apart. That's the easy bit. But to put them together, ball ache. This is ACF 50. That is George. Say hi, George. Yeah. So this stuff is brilliant. Protects, penetrates and lubricates. Kills corrosion on contact. Very expensive, but every single bit of alley on the aircraft is going to have a coat of this. Down in the tubes, all the way to the bottom. It goes really well, goes really far as well, that will. That's about 30 quid, 35 quid, I think, something like that. But it's proper stuff, really good stuff. So yeah, get some of that. Good on motorbikes as well, so get some. So basically, the skins are already stitched, and when you put the bars in, it will tension up and it will get tighter and tighter. So to get it in it does take forever to do. So basically, you clean all your alley up, check everything over. You can take the bungs out and drop out any rivets that are floating around inside, might as well. And then, yeah, ACF 50, all that kind of stuff as well. So that's what we're going to do. And then you feed in the bar like that. And you think, super, that was easy. It's not. Then you start swearing. So that's what I'm going to do next. Slowly working my way forward, back in the hangar now. So all the tubing, the alley anyway, has all been treated or cleaned, thoroughly treated, and all the caps, these white caps, have been cleaned and popped back on. So the back end is okay. I've taken the ground plate off. There was a ground plate just here, a square. That needs to be rebuilt because it was toot. So I'm going to rebuild another one and attach it properly. A few fixing of some cables in there. Everything says ACF 50 all over it. You can see the bottle hanging over there. And then I'm working my way back to the steel frame. So we're working our way forwards. Needs a little bit. There's a tiny bit of surface on the where the coverings go over the top and lace over. There's a few places that need a little bit of attention. So I'll just put a bit of etch primer on that. We'll put some paint on that at some point. Yeah, and we're working our way forwards. Can't get the bloody leg off. That is a pain. They're on there really well, so yeah, possibly another day job, that one, but it's a bit of a pain. In the end I cut it off, so the skins are actually off. They're over there. So they are off, and the ground plane, I'll show you. This was bit of crappy tin, so we're going to change it to a nice new sheet of valley and fit it better. So that's what we're going to do as we continue trying to get it sorted. So next up is the horizontal stabilizer. So this is the bit where you've got to start making holes in your nice shiny new covers, with the use of marking it out, and it uses a wire that runs through the bottom and you lace it round side to side, but you need to use a soldering iron. You don't really want to get this wrong, and I'm going to try and do it so you can see how easy it goes through. I'll do second one along. Goes like that, and you create a nice hole for the cable, for the string to go through. So we're going to do all those, and then we're going to start lacing up. That'll be fun, won't it? You join me in the steel section of the airframe, and what we've got is we've got little bits of surface rust. It's literally surface rust, and it was where the fabric was folded over on certain points. So we're going to rub it down using this. It's a strip like that, and we're going to go along and get rid of it all, and it'll be nice. We'll etch prime it and put a bit of paint on there. You're not going to see it's going to be under the covers, but we're going to do that anyway. So yeah, we've got a few bits to do. I've gone around and put marks on it. We've moved a few bits as well. I've taken the seat belts out because it's getting in the way. So just to make a bit of space, I've disconnected the fuel lines for the wings and things like that, to create a bit more space. And yeah, so it's a bit of a rubbing down sort of day today, and we'll get some X prime on it, and it'll be good. So surface rust removed, and she's etched prime that bit, so that's good. Slowly getting there. Let that go off. Progress report on the RANs. So we are in the process of doing any surface rust that we find on any of the tubing where the covering's gone over. So we've just etched primed another part. There's a couple of bits to do, but nothing major. Tail section's all sorted out. That's okay. Still got massive trouble getting these legs out. Gonna have to hit them harder, but I don't want to break them. They're really expensive. Taking the hinges off and taking the elevators and the flaps. They're in the car, just fit in the car. So going to take them away. They need to be de-riveted and checked over and everything like that. As you can see, the wings are still on. That'll be sort of, yeah, need more people for that. So yeah, that's kind of sort of where we're at the moment. The weather's, it's all right today, but tomorrow's going to be rubbish, so probably won't be down in tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, we're kind of getting there very, very slowly. There's a couple of bits I've had to buy, or I'm trying to buy. Skycraft is the RANs dealer in the UK, and I'm after some little saddles for the end of the elevators. One of them's just snapped off. It's only a bit of plastic, but they're trying to find some for me, so that is happening. And yeah, so there we go, getting there slowly. Next up then to take apart is one of the flaps. This is the port side flap, and it had the hinges on. Taking all the hinges off, and the control, you can't see it, but I've taken that off as well. And they are held in with these rivets. Go around the other side, and it is tensioned with these screws. So the bolt is about that long, so you've got about that much play to tighten them up. Loosened it a tiny bit, so just to check that they actually do undo. And then we're going to de-rivet all this and slide it off, and then do what we're doing with everything else. We're going to check the frame, clean her up, and hopefully put the new bit on. Be nice, wouldn't it? So this is the de-skinned flap structure. You can see got these ribs similar to the other thing we had to mess about with. Just like there. And then it's your tensioning bar, and inside the end of the flap you've got that metal. It's got to go back round, clean up the holes, and re-rivet it on. That's what we've got to do. So that's what it looks like. And we put the cover on the flap, and when it's tensioned it will look lovely, except we've run into a problem. This end, that has got the metal strip in, that's the tensioning bar. and it's already too far over before it's even tensioned. So it needs an inch, good inch, taken off. So unfortunately, we're going to have to strip them back down and send them back just to get that folded back so it's about level with that one. That's what we need. Then it can go into the bar and then it can be tensioned. Otherwise it's never going to work. So, problem with the flaps, we're going to have to send the stuff back, but this is the aileron, or one of the ailerons. So we're just going to take all these rivets out, slacken it off, and then pull this one on. These I've checked the sizing on these are the right size, the new ones, so they should be all right. So that's what you need. Punch out the middle, like that, on each one. Some are easy, some are stubborn, like that one. And there's some on the other side. There's also a couple of little diddies on the top here, because there's a metal plate that goes all the way around. There's a strap that you rivet to strengthen it up. So need to tap those through as well. Sometimes they get like that. They'll actually pull the head of the rivet out as well, which is handy. So yeah, go around. Get that one out as well, like that. Go around, take them all out, then we'll drill them, and then you'll be able to put it back. I'll show you. Yeah, that's them done. Then we'll put the screwdriver in, just take the tension off. You can feel it lose its tension. Not all the way out, just a bit. It's a little sloppy now. Drill. Don't push too hard. Let it take the ends off. Pop that out and let that through for a minute. Do the other side. All the way through, that's all right. Like that. Get one of them. Like that. Turn it round. Pull the skin off. There. Drill that one a bit more. Like that. It'll be separated now from the tensioning bar. And then you can pull the skin back and you'll see that's the tensioning bar there. And all we have to do, knock the rest of the rivet heads through, like so. Big rivet there. Like that. Once we've pulled the skin off, I might be able to do it here, let's try. Yeah. Pull the skin off and then take out this metal strip. And that's it. See how we get on. Hi. So, this weekend, I had a weekend off last weekend because I was doing other things. We're going to try and get the tail done this weekend. So I'm working on the rear fin at the moment, doing the same as what we did with the others. We're going to mark out the holes that we need to solder and burn through so we can lace it up. The frame had a little bit of a touch up on it, and we're going to clean that. You can't see it from there, but it's over there. And yeah, we'll try and get the tail and the rudder done today, and sort a few other bits and pieces out and try and have a bit of a catch-up day today. So that's what we're going to do. Hello, so we're back in the hangar. I've been doing some stuff at home in the warm and dry, but that's kind of on hold at the moment till I get some more bits. So now we're going to sort out this grounding sheet for the aerial, because the old one is naff. That's the old one. Got a big split in it, and it's a bit naff. So got a nice bit of tin. And what we're doing now is all the corners, we're just rounding them off. Just nice, got a nice radius on the corners. No one is ever going to see this. No one is ever going to see this. But with the cunning use of a 10p and a 1p on the back, we're just going to file that down and give it a nice bit of a contour, and then we're going to try and see how we're going to attach it. So that's the thing that we're going to do today, and hopefully at some point get the wings off. That needs to be done now. Should roll round really, but I don't have the room, so we should do it. But it's all right, like I say, no one sees it. But I know it's there. Like that. All it takes. It's only thin alley. There. Nice radius on the corners. Done. Got the wing off. That is a bit of a ball ache to do when you're on your own. But she's off. She's on the trestle. She's upside down, obviously. Now what we've got to do is take the tension off here and here, wind that, takes the tension back, and then we take out all these screws along here, and then you've got little screws in here to keep the ribs in place, and then these ribs get pulled out, all the ribs all the way along both sides. And then it should be wobbly enough to pull out. So that is what we're going to do. Wingless. Wings on the trestles, and a couple of little resealable bags to clip the screws, we take all these screws off and all these screws off for the ribs. That's what we're going to do now. And then I've taken the tension out, feel it let go. So yeah, once we've got that out, loosen it a bit more, we should be able to pull the ribs out. Let's see what happens, shall we? Right, we've taken the hinges off, apart from this end one because it doesn't need to be. It's fine like that. So we've taken the hinges off. We've labelled up these ribs, port P. So P1, starting here, all the way out. So we've done that. We've taken off the screws. We've taken off the screws around the end that gives the tension to the frame. Now in theory, these should all come out. The only other thing we've got to do is take this off. Controls your ailerons. You've got to do that, but it's a bit fiddly to get in there, so we might try and see if we can get some of this slack off first and then do it from there. So in theory, it should come out like that. Yay. One rib. Put that at the end, which sits on top, and that at the other end. Obviously they're filthy dirty, but we'll clean those up and they'll look like brand spanking new. And these are the ones that have got the hole in there, which goes in there to hold them in. You can see it's already flappy. It's getting loose, which is what we want. So we're going to work our way along and take them out. I don't think the others will come out any easier. This is the underside, of course. There's others on the top. Gives the wing its shape. Therefore shape, so it can fly. We'll inspect all these. Just for number 6. The more rotten end is this end. I mean, you can see how grubby it is here. You wait till I turn it over. Gross. And that's the side that gives you lift. It pulls you up in the sky. So the other side's more important, and the other side's got the UV on it, so it's even worse. So we'll continue taking them off, see how we go. Right, we flipped it over, and you can see how bad it is. Mould, mildew, nastiness, and it's just rotten. You can see it tearing. You can't see it like that, can you? Let's show you tearing. Literally, there's no strength in that whatsoever. Just holes after holes after holes. See? So yeah, and that is the top rib. See, it's got the curve in it to get your shape. Flying. So we're going to mark all these up and pull these out. These have got a different end, like that, like hooks, and you get them from the same side actually. So I could have kept on its back, but I wanted to get to the top. So yeah, they hook out and come from the bottom side. They just feed in. They feed into the top runs, and the other ones feed in from underneath. So that's what we're going to do. Mark them up, take them out, and clean them. So they are coming out. The end rib is difficult. Number one is because the fuel tank's in there, so it's got to get. You need to be a little bit more forceful with it. So I'm going to do that one last. I'm going to take the tension out of all these, and then do number one because it goes over the tank. The others come out. See how saggy it is now, which is good. But it's actually tearing the fabric as I take these out. So what I'm going to do. Poke down through the same hole that you took the other ones from. It says. And then see, it's tearing. Cool. Like that. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And obviously all these are going to get examined properly. And when they go back, then obviously these ones go back in first, the upper, and you put the lower ones in. Like that. 6. Another one. 7. Put you there. Yes. Oh, that's the spark. That's a tricky one because that goes along the spar as well. Let's take that one out instead. That's why we're doing it. This is what gives you the lift. You can see the fabric. That's what colour it's supposed to be. See that? That's what colour it's supposed to be, and that's a bit UV. That's what it does. Damages the fabric. That's what keeps you in the sky. This bit, this side. So yeah, fun. So in theory, we should be able to move this cover now. We'll start to take it off. I'm not sure how. That one was so tight. That one over the tank, number 1. But I made a hole in it. Doesn't matter. Let's see, shall we? It's going to be filthy under here. We'll go with a fuel tank. You don't really want to drop crap in the tank, but I'm going to clean the tanks out anyway. Why not? I could just cut it off. Sometimes it's good to keep the skins, so you know where everything is marked up. All the holes and things. So that's the end rib. This is the one that you screw to and gives it the tension. So we need to clean this up. Lots of work to do on the wings, but it keeps you in the air, so to do it properly. Get a pitot tube out. Tricky on your own doing all this. Gross under here. Once it's over the tank, it's not too bad. You see how filthy everything is. Pick that up, I suppose. It's taken me nearly an hour so far to get this far, but I think it's loose at the other end now, so I reckon if I lift it and pull it, it should come off. Get snagged on every single tiny little screw and everything. And it keeps tearing. There's a couple of there. Every time it meets a hole there. I'll do it again in a minute. There's some alley lugs that hang down for the struts to go on. So it's got to get over those. Getting there. Ta-da! There we are. Have a look. You see how grimy it is? Grime, mould and grime. We're gonna clean it all up. Fixed rib, that one. Forgot about that. So that's why that one didn't come out. I'm gonna check everything over. But it is grotty. Proper grotty. So yeah. Port wing, skin off, done. Nice. Well, we're giving it a clean. It's cleaner than it was. It's going to have a load of ACF on it in a little while. But yeah, much better than it was. Anyway, most of the grime's off. Still some bits to do, but that was rank. That was rank. So good. So today we have taken out the ribs. They're all marked up and they're all clean and covered in ACF 50. That stuff, brilliant stuff. We've painted the frame that needed painting, had undercoat on it, it's been painted. We've removed the wing, we have removed the skin, we have cleaned the frame, leading edge, trailing edge. We have ACF 50 everything, including all the lines there as well. Clean the tank, and it's pretty ready to have its new skin put on. So it is getting there, very, very slowly. Still the wing the other side, obviously. We've also done the ground plane as well today, fitted that. It's for your radio. So that's all nice, brand new one. She's in. and it's good to go. Getting there slowly, and it's a beautiful day. New skins going on the wing slowly. It's all been cleaned, it's all ready to go, so we're trying to get the skin on. Got a new tarpaulin because we're doing it in here. Well, I'm doing it in here. The floor's shit in here, so it's hopefully going to keep everything nice and clean. And yeah, so we've just got it over that first rib. That was tricky. And then I'm just going to keep nudging it on until we've gone all the way. See how far I get, and hopefully everything will line up and it'll be good to go. But yeah, it's going to take a bit of time, so I'll keep you posted. Morning. Run into some problems. One of the problems is I cannot get this skin on anymore. It's only got that much to go until I can get it onto this rib, but it will not budge. And not only that, lots and lots of swearing. I still can't get the where are they? Still can't get the legs off of the aircraft either to put the other skins on. So it was like a whole day wasted, and I wasn't happy yesterday. I'm still not happy today, but we're going to try and see how it goes. I might have to try and get this off again, but that's going to be a massive struggle in its own. So we'll see how it goes today. So I'm back to square one with the wing. I did manage to get the covers off, so we're going to have to try again. It was getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and I know they're an absolute pain to fit. And when you get so far in, you've got about 12 inches from the end, you've got to put the a top rib in as well. It makes it even tighter. But it was getting snagged, and yeah, it just wasn't going to go. So that's been removed, and we're going to have a second thought. Talcum powder, apparently, or some silicone spray you can use. It's all right with that, but you can't use it with Dacron because it soaks in, but it should be all right with that. But yeah, going to give it another attempt and re-tape up the bolts that stick out here and further down. Going to redo those and give it another go over and try again. One of those things, unfortunately. They are an absolute pain. They are so tight. If we could just get it onto that end rib, it could be pulled back, but yeah, it wasn't going to happen. So yeah, on to the next. Skin's going on, so we're trying to get it over the fuselage first. The wings I'm going to worry about a little bit later, but it's a bit of a stretch, all this. So the legs are out. Put it over the strut, bottom strut point there, and then start lacing out the front. But we've got to make all the holes for it as well. So yeah, you kind of get the idea of what it's supposed to do. The black bits here are the bits that are going to have holes in, and eventually that should fold over this bar. That one tucks up inside, folds over the bar, and that will fold around the front. So yeah, there's a lot to do, but it is kind of getting there. But it is a bit dodgy. I've put it on some stands here, so that's all that's stopping it from tipping over, because obviously there's only a nose wheel at the front. So she's a little bit wobbly, and I hope it doesn't fall off the stand. So I need to get the legs sorted out and put back in pretty pronto, really. Slowly getting the skins on. They're no way near finished yet. We're lacing them up and we're making holes. So soldering iron again. Mark them out. They're all different widths. Some are like 2 inches, some are 3, some are 2 3/4. You've got to get them right, so when they lace round, they meet up where they're supposed to meet up. It's all in the book. Got a book. So yeah, we're going to make some more holes. Just using a soldering iron, like we did for the tail section. That. See? Holes. And they've got lacing straps in there. Go round and round and round with the lacing. I've already started the lacing on the other side. Just about see it over there. but it's not tight because you can't tighten them up all at once because you'd ruin it. So you got to do it in sections, like doing a cylinder head on a car. You got to do cross. When it kind of shimmies in, you've got to get the front sorted first before you start pulling the back. And eventually you get rid of most of the creases. So yeah, that's what we're doing. 9 AM on a Sunday morning. So, bit of progress, very slow. We've got the skin, right, so I put the skin on and I had it all lined up at the front, over here. It was beautiful, none of that. It was all on and it was all neat and everything like that. But would the back go line up? Will it? So, to get the back on, it was really difficult, really difficult. Lots of lacing, unlacing, and all that. My hands hurt. So finally got it to the position. These creases here will go when you do the cab. So when you do these ones, these creases will pull that way. That way. And the ones at the back, those there is because I've undone the lower lacing at the moment to get to the back to put the fin on, which is over there. There, doing it backwards. So yeah, so it is starting to get starting to go on. It has been an absolute pain. The Dacron, the old stuff, that stuff is much more pliable. So you get a little bit of give in everything. But this stuff, no, you don't. So I ended up pulling most of that forward, and they said use talcum powder. So I tried a bit of talc just to pull it, and it was just going like a fraction, you know, at a time, just to try and get it lined up. So my aim or my plan is to try and get the tail assembled today. Get the tail done, get it all done, properly done, split pins the lot, and then I'm going to work my way forwards. And as I work my way forwards, we're going to do some more, obviously tightening of the laces and everything like that. The wheels, they need to come off because they've got creep. So creep is when the wheel turns and the tyre, when you land, it forces the tyre around. So you get creep and you end up with bent, like the valves bending and things like that, and they can snap. So I want to sort that out as well. So you need to let the tyres out, let the tyres down, and do the bead, pull them around so they're straight. And then you can put marks on them. I've got some marker paint, so you can put a mark to see if you've actually had wheel creep. So yeah, need to sort that out, and then you need to do the front end. The brakes, I had to take the brakes off to get them to get these legs off, so they had to come off anyway, and had to pull them through. So they all need doing, and in order to get them off, they need bleeding, but they need bleeding anyway. So we've got to sort the brakes out as well. And then we slowly move our way around to the front, and then the cowling. I've got a roll of up there somewhere. There's a roll of tucked up over there. There's a roll of white vinyl wrap. So we've got to get the cowling, clean all the cowling, degrease all the cowling, take off any stickers that are on the cowling, and then I'm going to try my hand at wrapping. So that's what we're going to do. And we've also got to wrap this blue bit here, needs to be done. That's got to be sorted out as well. So that needs to be done. And if I can get that all done, buttoned up, then it'll be the wings, which, as you know, I've tried and failed the first time, and I've kind of walked away from that. But I thought, we'll get all this done first, get all this done, then it's the wings. I could spend some time on the wings and get that sorted. Still got some riveting to do to put some like flashing back on the firewall there. And yeah, I've got to go and buy a can of paint, white paint, because you can't wrap everything. There's a few things that need to have some paint on. So I'm going to try and match it up as best I can. Yeah, and that's where we're at the moment. I've got to get the registration done. So obviously when it's all finally tightened and everything like that, it's nice and tight. It's going to have a blue stripe down the side, but I need some letters on there, the reg, and on the wing as well. There are legal things that you have to have, lettering sizes and fonts, and you can't go crazy. It's got to be pretty like New Roman letter, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that's what the plan is, because I haven't spoken to you for a little while. I put the seats back in only so I can sit on them to do that rear wall. It's just a lot easier than trying to lean over and trying to do all that sort of stuff. But I'm sort of marking out the holes at the moment for that as well. But they're all weird as well. So yeah, so it's getting there, but a bit progress, but it's still taking a lot longer than I thought. But it's just me doing it, isn't it? So what do you expect? So yeah, that's what's happening. Another day at the hangar. Been here since 9. It's now, I don't know, 5:30. Tried to get the wing skin back on, the one that wouldn't go on last time. It was going on lovely this time. Used some silicone spray, but it got to the same point, exactly the same point as last time, and it's stuck. So I need to make up a whole series of ratchets along the thing and just pull each one, because I was using one and it was pulling it on fine, but it's got to a snag. There's a rib that's fixed in the wing at the far end, and it's getting tight around that. The rest of the sides you can sort of get a bit of movement. You can see that, you can feel it's free, but there it's tight. And obviously the other end where it's starting to go over the fuel tank, there's only about that much to pull on. Once you get it onto the bar, then you can tighten it up, but it's just not having any of it. Took the other wing out, the starboard wing out, and cut it off, not messing around. Took all the ribs out, all the screws, kept everything, bagged it up, marked it all up. Same as the other one, but this time cut skin, cut it off, and I've just literally finished cleaning the frame. It was really mucky, like the other one was. So just finished doing that, and it's over there under some tarpaulin. What else have we done? We've done the fin, fitted all that in, so that's done. A few little fiddling things. I've got the trim to do, still got the trim to do, the elevator trim, but I haven't got the parts here. They need riveting in and it needs setting up. This is taut now, all that's in, so all the basically the cab side of it is pretty much done. Bung the seats back in, the seat belts have all been cleaned, washed and all that, so they're all back in. However, I am finding it difficult to still line up the front of this covering, so we're still trying to work on that, and hopefully we'll be able to line it up a bit better. I've got an idea. What I think it is, if I put it there, before it all lined up perfectly along here, but you can see here it's so now you've got a bit of gap here, so you can hot knife, you can cut around that. It's not a problem, but it's just a bit annoying. This hasn't been tightened yet, so that's why it looks like that. None of the skins have had any heat on. They've not had any heat gun yet, or even been out in the sun. So we're trying to get it, like I said before, as tight as we can. Then we're going to fly it, and then we're going to tighten it up. But yeah, we're going to try and figure out why that's doing that. I do have an idea. I think it's there's bars underneath the frame, so the skin isn't fitting to the frame itself. It's fitting to some bars, and if they've got little spaces in them, and if you flatten those, it's difficult to explain, but you got a little bar like that that's got a gap spacer in. If you got rid of that gap, that would make that go forwards and up slightly. That's my theory anyway, so we're going to try that. Yeah, a few other bits and pieces we've done in there. So all the flying controls are pretty much done. Just trying to get the wings sorted out and stuff. This I might have to take off and paint rather than cover. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to attempt to do the cowling at some point, and I've still got to get the stickers done for the rear. They still need to be made. Might do them in blue, because it's going to have a blue stripe, so blue you're allowed, so I might get some blue. So yeah, it is coming together. Lots of little things. Done the wheels, all the valves and everything. I've got bleeding, but I need someone else. I'm doing this on my own, so I need someone to pump pedals for me. My arms aren't that long. I'm not Mr. Tickle. So yeah, I need to do bleed the brakes. But they're all the valves. Remember I said the valves had creep, so they're all going to go down. They've had a bit of air in there as well. They're a bit flat. So yeah, so it is happening, but it's still not as fast as I'm not available tomorrow. I can't be down here tomorrow. I'm driving tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see how far we get. See how far we get next time. But these wings, oh. So we're going to try the other skin. I say we. I'm going to try the other skin and see if I can get that on further. See if that gives us any problems. And then go back to the other one. But my hands hurt and I'm tired. So thanks for watching. So I think if I move these spacers, see them there, this bar, there's a gap under that one anyway, see, but that bar there, that is what the skins sit on, rather than sitting on the frame itself. It sits on these bars with little spacers, and I think if you get rid of the spacer, obviously put something in there to protect the metal, I reckon you'll be able to pull that up a bit more and can try and straighten that out a little bit. But we'll see. The wing skins are on. Was it a pain? Yes, it was. We used some silicone spray, ratchet straps, and all that kind of stuff. So all these pockets will need cutting, where all the spars go through and things like that. So they're a bit tight there. They've got no ribs in apart from the fixed one at the end, and you have to put, well, they're upside down at the moment. This is one that's right way up. So I've got one rib in. The fuel cap needs cut, and that's a Snickers. Fuel cap, or Marathon, sorry. Fuel cap needs cutting. All the screws are in, they're tensioned up to where they're supposed to be. So yeah, once you get the ribs in, all that should hopefully stretch out, which would be nice. But they were a massive pain to get on. My friend Jack helped me, and yeah, it got stuck under that fixed rib there. You can still see it's a bit tight, so that's where it was getting snagged. But once they're tensioned up, hopefully they'll all be nice, and we can put some heat on them, and they'll be good to go. So yeah, that's what we've been doing today. Morning. So yesterday we fitted the skins to the frames. Wing over there has been done. It's had all its ribs fitted as well. So now we're on this wing, which is the port wing, and we are going to insert the ribs. This is a top rib. The wing's upside down at the moment, and you have to put all the top ribs in first. So you feed the rib in, and then it will click down on the bar here once it's in. It goes in these inserts. You put those in, you find the pocket. There's a pocket in the pocket. You have to find that in. They get harder and harder as you push, so you have to give them a little tap at the end with a bit of wood and a hammer, gently, and then push them in. And then after we've done that, we can put the top ribs in. Sorry, the bottom ribs in, and they'll go along there. And again, they need a bit of persuasion getting them into place. So that is what we're going to do. I've got some PTFE spray just to help me ease them in, but I am running out, so I might have to go in dry at some point. So we're on the third rib. So that end in that pocket, and inside there is another pocket. Sorry. And push them in like that. Get them in so far. We've got that one all the way. Like that. That sits there like that. In. And it's forming because it's upside down. So yeah, so we've got 8 ribs to do. The end one is difficult, and the first one was put in before the skins were tensioned. So it's happening. The wings are getting built, which is good. Still lots to do. All this, you've got all the hinges along here for, you've got the ailerons, ailerons and flaps have to be fitted. So you need to get a hot knife ideally, cut out, burn a hole with the soldering iron like we did with everything else, and yeah, locate all the hinge bolt holes. They need to all go in. This is the which one is this? Got to find the pitot tube as well. That's just been pushed in, so I need to go along the front and find the hole for the pitot tube and burn a hole for that, so that can get pushed through as well. And then there's some cutouts to be done for the spars to fit in. There's 3 on each wing, so there's holes to be cut for that, and there's also a hole to be cut for the elevator, rod, and also the flap teleflex has to come out as well. So more cutting and burning and stuff. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. It's peeing down outside, so we're in the hangar. It's dark and miserable, and I'm a little bit pissed off. So we've still got these wings to fit to the aircraft, but we need to cut all the hinges along here. All the brackets, the U brackets, have to go in along. So I've put the old wing skin up against it. It just helps you kind of locate the area, rough area where they're going to be. But I'm not happy. There's some wrinkles in there, and I'm not sure if they're going to come out or not. Apparently they are, and it's going to be lovely, but I'm not sure. It still hasn't had any heat on it, and there's a few things that I'm just not happy with, so I'm going to go home in a minute because I've had a gutful. So I've got that to do on both the wings. Need to fit the hinges, need to cut some more holes and bits and pieces in it as well, before we can actually put them to the aircraft. The aircraft, again, there's some wrinkles in there that I'm not happy with. Remember that trick I said I was going to do with removing the poles, remove the spacers, and put it up? You can't do that because it's riveted both ends, so the skins have to sit underneath on that. So that's basically where it's going to stay, and how it's going to live. I'm not mega happy with it now. I'm starting to have doubts on whether I want to carry on, but we'll see. There's some bits that still need painting, and it's just getting a bit I'm getting a bit fed up with it, to be fair. But we'll carry on nonetheless and see if it's going to keep going. And maybe once it's all back together and flyable, I might like it again. But at the moment, it's I'm not looking very hopeful for it. I kind of losing the love slightly, but maybe it's because it's a miserable day. We'll see. It might be sunny tomorrow. Being down outside. So these are the bits I'm not happy with. This ain't right. Shouldn't be like that. It should be tight like this. Like I say, it's still not had any heat from a heat gun or anything on it, no iron or anything like that. And I'm just hoping that it will actually stretch out. This, on the other hand, I'm probably going to have to pull the rib out and stretch it round, because you also need to make sure that this is in line and it goes off. You see that there? It's supposed to be straight all the way along, but as you put the ribs in, it kind of pulls the material. So I might have to take them out and reattach them, which will be a pain. But yeah, it's just not happy with it. Not happy with it. But I've got a few people and they're all saying, no, it'll be fine. You'll be surprised how well it comes out. I'm like, yeah, go on then, surprise me. So. Not happy with it. Easter Bank Holiday Monday, and we're in the hangar again. So, the wings are on. Finally, the wings are on the aircraft. There's a few wrinkles on it that apparently will come out once you've sort of stretched it and it's done its own thing. I'm a little bit about that, but we'll see. And it hasn't had any heat on it yet, so we'll put some heat on it. I've done all the holes and cut all the slots for the hinges on the back of the wing for when we get the ailerons and the flaps, so when they get fitted. Still got the hole to make for the teleflex for the flaps. Cut the holes for the ailerons, so they're ready to go. She's masked up at the moment because I'm painting this bit here, and I painted it yesterday, put one coat on, so it does look a bit tatty. It needs going again, and there's a run in it, of course there is, because I couldn't see anything because it's just dark in here. So that's what I'm going to do in a moment. Still got the brakes to bleed, but at least the list is getting a bit shorter. I've got the fuel system to reattach, so we've got the two lines that go up from the front and the rear of the tank. They tee off, and I've also got to get some clear fuel tubing to act as a sight glass, and I'm putting it into some plastic PVC tubing to hold it rigid, so you can actually see where the level is without it sagging, you know, so you can see where the level is. You put 20 litres in, there'll be marks on the thing, so you know how much you've got in there. Yeah, so it's coming along. I put some marks on the tyres and on the wheels, which is for creep. Remember I said I was going to do that, so that's been done as well. And yeah, aerials, we've done both the main radio, and we've also got the transponder aerial fitted as well. Not that I use the transponder, but it's fitted, so it is coming together. We've got the cowling to cover as well, and we've also got might try and do that with the vinyl, but I might end up painting it, I don't know. And as you can see, we've done it all in this hangar. I did say at the beginning we were going to go up in the other hangar, but I'm kind of glad we did it in here in a way, the fact that I can just go and drop everything and go home and it's still going to be here, which is good, because I'm a bit more under pressure because it is taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. What else have we got to do? We've got to get the decals for the side, so we've got to get the aircraft registration. I've cut one off of the old fuselage skin, so I've got that, and the old wing skin is laying on the floor, so I'm going to roll that up, chuck it in the boot of the car, and then there's a place over the road that hopefully going to make me some signs. If you go to like an aircraft place, they want like a couple of £100 for it. It's only vinyl, it's only simple vinyl, which is really annoying because my mate used to have all that gear, but he got rid. So we're going to have to get that done, and then got to weigh and balance it. So we need to just check it's not putting any weight. You've got to do it every so often anyway, so it's a good thing to get that done while it's empty weight, and then the balance and everything like that, and just tick all the boxes, and then do loads of paperwork, and then we're doing the final fittings of things, just double checking and triple checking all things like split pins and all that kind of stuff. So it's coming together. So that's where we're at the moment. The list is getting shorter. Like I say, I'm a little bit with these creases in the wings, but we'll see. They might come out, and hopefully if I put some heat on, they'll come out, but we'll see. Another day in the hangar. Just painted the cowlings. I decided to paint them because I'm not quite sure with the old vinyl if it's going to start peeling off and stuff, because it does get quite hot, and you've got the cycles of getting hot and cold and all that kind of stuff. So I painted it with this. This is 2-pack paint, but you can get it in a can. It's quite clever. Put the ring in, pull the pin, twist it round, shake it like mad, and then yeah, it's 2-pack paint, which you can get. Quite good, isn't it? So they're painted, and I just got to let it go off. I used 2 cans of this in the end, so that's happening. The flaps have returned. So I need to start fitting these. I've got the hinges. Got the hinges on the wings. I just need to do the hinges on here and get them all attached. So that is probably the next job to do while we let the paint dry. And yeah, once the front bit of the plane is, I've done the same paint on the front, that bit of cowling, just so it's the same colour. So once that's dry, then I can take off all that masking and sort of do final fixes on the front, which would be nice, and then put the cowling back on and rub out any runs, not a problem. And then yeah, we're on to sort of flaps and ailerons really. Still a bit of riveting to do. Got to put the flashing back on the front, so I've got that to do. Yeah, so it's coming along now. I've taken the all the decals and that, the registration. Spoke to a guy who lives up the road, knocked on his door and told him what I'd require. So he's getting back to me with a price for some lettering. Hopefully it'll be about 60 quid ish, which is still quite expensive for vinyl. But if you go to an aircraft thing, they want like 200 quid for some bloody stupid vinyl stickers. So anyway, so he's going to do it with the space. You can either get each letter done and stick it on yourself or space it out yourself, but my eyes aren't that good now, so he's going to do it from the machine onto backing paper, and then I just line it up and do it like that. So that's what we're going to do. At least you know they're straight then. So 2 for the fuselage and 1 for the wing. So that is hopefully being done as well. And yeah, we're just split pinning and things like that. My dad came and helped me the other day. We tried to sort of bleed the brakes. They need another go really, and they need pulling, it needs sort of siphoning through really. So that needs to be done, but we've started on it, so that's good. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to get on to today. Bit of progress today. So painted the cowling, fitted the cowling, fitted the radiator there, the oil cooler. Can't really see it, but it's under there somewhere. So fitted that. We fitted the flaps, we fitted the hinges, we cut the hole for the teleflex to come out. We've also painted a few other bits and pieces. The trim for the rudder needs to be fitted, so that needs to be done, but that's just a few rivets, that's fine. So yeah, it is coming together. Want to walk around and have a look? I'll show you in a second. So obviously it's not finished, but it's getting there. So the white looks quite nice, I think. It could probably do with another coat, but that could be done at a later date. That's not too much of a problem. I haven't clipped it in yet. It's just because I've got to take the top off to bleed the brakes. Bit of creasing here and there and everywhere. This is the worst bits on these wings on the leading edge, but there's not really a lot I can do about that at the moment. But we'll have to see how it goes. But from this side, it doesn't look too bad. So you get the idea. We fitted the flaps on both sides, so they're in. I haven't done the split pins yet, so each of the bolts that are in here, it's got to have a split pin put in because they're a castle nut. So that's got to be done, and the same when you get the ailerons back as well. The fuel lines are kind of in. There's cable ties holding things together momentarily in here, but they will be cut off eventually. This teleflex is done, but it needs all wire locking. We just want to set the geometry up as well, because they need to double check that they're actually where they're supposed to be, zeroed. Bits and pieces. Yeah, there's the skins again. Here, these creases. Apparently, once it's sort of flexed and done its bit, and you get a bit of heat on it, it should come out. So, let's go this way. The tail's coming together. Like I said, I've ordered the registration, so that should be getting a phone call about that as well. So we've done that as well, and yeah, it's all sort of coming together really, which is quite good. A couple of bits to do inside. The pitot, the other end of the pitot, and obviously it needs all clean. How cute in my head! It needs all cleaning as well, because yeah, it's all mucky, so it needs a good wipe over. A few electrical bits and pieces I need to sort out down here. Not a problem, you sort that out. And yeah, so it's coming together. Baggage bay needs to go back in. That goes behind the seats. Obviously the doors need to go in, and there's supposed to be some flashing that goes between the wing here. There's a bit of tin that runs across, but I'll either paint them and put them back on, but they do look a bit tatty, so we might get a nice fresh bit of tin and go from there. So yeah, all in all, quite a lot done today, which is quite good. So it is getting there. The list is getting even shorter now, so that's good. Got to weigh and balance it. Loads of paperwork to do. Decals are the main things, I think, at the moment. And obviously fit the ailerons and go around the whole lot and triple check. Oh, and bleed the brakes. It kept backing up, the fluid. It needs a pump. It's just me on my own as usual. So yeah, need someone else to do that, help me with that. So yeah, and that's what it looks like with the cowling on. I think it looks quite smart. It'll have a blue stripe on it eventually. I need to do those. I might wrap those for the spars. Yeah, they stick out like a sore thumb. So we'll get that done. That'll be good. Another day at the hangar, and the lettering's turned up. So we've put it on the, it's on backing paper at the moment. I've got it on there, and now I'm going to peel it off and it will reveal all its glossiness. If I get this one done, then that's the fuselage done, and then it's the wing. I should have done the wing when it was off, but I didn't have the stuff, so the wing might be a bit of a pain, but let's peel it off and see what it looks like. Right, gloss. Nice. Tick it off the list. Another day. So we did the side decals yesterday, my lovely blue stripe. I might continue the stripe on to the tail. Bit of a problem with the front because I'm not quite sure which line to follow, but anyway, we'll leave that like that for a while. So the next job I've just done is I've put these on, which is the under registration back breaker. Back hurts now because it would be so much easier to do when it was on the trestles, but I didn't have them then and I just wanted to get it done. So that's a bit of a pain, trying to line everything up and hold everything up when you're on your own. Big pain, but I put it on there and I'm about to take off all the backing to reveal the registration. So that's what I'm going to do. Look at that, shiny. Also, I've got some things to rub down and paint today. The trims that go under the or the end of the wing there, on the wing root, they go underneath. So I need to rub those down and paint those. Also sort out the fuel sight glasses. I need to sort that out today, really. I've got Tim coming around, he's the inspector guy. He's coming around, Bank Holiday Monday tomorrow. He's coming around tomorrow. He's going to go through a few bits and pieces, just have a look really. So it is coming together. got a problem with the teleflex. One of the teleflexes isn't happy on the starboard side, so I need a new one of those. But I'm running out of internal organs to sell to Skycraft. They're the dealer in the UK for RAN stuff, but they're dear as poison. So I'm hoping they might have a second-hand one or something like that. But it just operates the flaps on that side. So yeah, I'm gonna reveal this. Take all this off, and then it should look quite good. It's not fully stuck yet. You get the idea. That's got masking tape on there. So I'll get on with this. There we are. That's what they look like on. Not too bad. I spaced them so you could get the rod in between the two letters. All this. So yeah, under the wing done, and both the sides done. So that's good. Legal lettering. So we're installing the tubes. Done that side. You can just about see it. So there's a glass. Well, I say glass. It's not a glass. It's perspex. It's a perspex tube to hold a rubber tube inside, so it sits rigid, so you can read off when you've got fuel in the tanks. And I'm just doing the port side now. Just putting some clips on, and that'll be that ticked off the list, which is good. Got an issue with the flashing that's supposed to sit under here, each side. Because I've pulled the wings a bit more, try to pull them a bit more taut this way, they're not going to fit, and they're tatty bits of tin anyway. So I think I might get some more tin for that and fit them a bit better. We'll do that. I think it'll look a bit better. So yeah, we're getting there. Teleflex I need, obviously I told you about that. But this clip here, put that on, and that'll be the fuel system all done, ready, all good to go. And then yeah, there's a few more bits on the list. The blue, you can see that blue there, that needs to be painted. That's been wrapped, the front bit, but I'm not happy with that. So you can either take off the only bits of, just to make it airflow a bit better, but I think I'll probably end up either take them off and leave it just as the alley bar, or paint them. So I'm having to think about that, and I'll see what I'm going to do. Bit of an after work job today. So we've done a bit of painting here for the struts, so they can be white, and then they can be fitted back to the aircraft. So I did the undercoat yesterday, and done the top coat today, just to change the colour, because the wrap wasn't working very well. It didn't look too special, and I've only got half the hangar door open, and I fitted the I don't know if you can see these. You can't see them. They're the latches. When you put the doors on and you pull the latches down, they grip onto it. So that has been done as well. So that's another thing ticked off the list. Just little bits and pieces now. I've got the flashing to do. I'm going to take those to work and do those. I'm going to keep with the metal that we've got, make them work. That's what I'm going to do, because I really want to get this sorted out. It can be changed later. It's not a problem. But we're going to fit the originals. The holes might not line up perfectly, but we'll make it work. So that's what's going to happen. And yeah, she's all coming together well now, so that's all good. And next instalment, hopefully we'll have those bits put back on. The paint will be dry. I want to put these before I fit the doors, because it's easier. So they need painting, and yeah, split pinning. I ran out of split pins, so waiting for some to turn up. Stupid post. So as soon as they get here, because they've got to be the right size, then we'll continue with that. And then Tim, I'm going to see at the weekend, hopefully. He's going to come and look. He was going to come the other day, but he couldn't make it. So yeah, he's going to come Saturday, I think, and we'll have a little go round, and I've got to do paperwork. That's what I'm going to do right now. got a few days off, got a bit of progress done. So I got the heat gun, and I did manage to clean up most of the leading edge. If you saw before, it was pretty rough, and there was creases and everything all over the place. Turns out I was being a bit of a pussy, really, and I wasn't getting it hot enough. Obviously, if you go too hot, it will shrink and then expand again, and you'll end up with more creases. There's some I can't get rid of, but from what it was to what it is now, it's pretty good, like a proper leading edge. So I'm quite impressed with that. Did a little bit on the sides as well. I mean, there's still creases, but I think it's the nature of the material, really. But a lot of the stuff has sort of come out fairly flat. And even if you score little like scratch marks in it, you can get the heat on it and they'll just sort of disappear. Very nice. So yeah, it's coming on. We're going to put it outside today because it's a lovely day, and I'm going to do some split pinning and things like that, and we're almost there. We're out in the sunshine, so we're doing the split pins for everything. Got to make sure there's got split pins in, castle nuts. So we've got a bag of the right size split pins. Cut the tails off. Cutters and pliers. Spanners to line up the holes. And a little bag to put all the ends in, because you don't want them on the floor because it'll go in tyres. So that is what we're doing at the moment. There's the hinge. And you see that? So we've got to line them up and put a split pin in and roll them around. That's what we're doing. So, split pinning. Because it's not done up tight, because it's a hinge. Split pin. This one's all lined up. Like that. Hold the ends round. Snip off the excess, because we don't want it cutting into the fabric. Put the old bits in the bag, and then just double check that they're nice and snug on there, like that. And that's the split pin. We're almost done. Just got this flat aileron, and I believe that's it. Nearly there now. So today we're doing the weight and balance of the aircraft. Now I'm dyslexic when it comes to numbers. I'm all right with English, but when it comes to numbers, I'm terrible with that. So Tim's coming over in a minute, my inspector, because he needs to sort of sign it off anyway. But you end up with a sheet. This is an old one with all these different numbers on. And there's all sorts of things you need to do, because you need to find out if because you're supposed to weigh the aircraft every now and then, and it hasn't been weighed since, well, for a long time, so it needs doing. Plus we put the new skins on it, it's got to be done anyway, so it's a good thing to do. And then you have to work out the weight of the aircraft and the balance of it, so you know how much you can take, whether it be luggage or passengers or fuel, and you've got to make sure that you're within a certain envelope of the aircraft so it can fly safely without falling out of the sky. So that is what we're going to do today. We're going to set it up in here. The aircraft has got to be dead level, so spirit levels and stuff, so everything's got to be exactly where it is. We've got to roll the aircraft onto some scales and take readings, and we've got to calibrate scales first, and we've got to do all that, and there's all sorts of maths and numbers involved. So yeah, you've got to find the arm and the moment and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, when Tim gets here, he can help me with that, because like I said, I'm terrible with things like that. So let's see how we get on, and hopefully we'll get that bit of the paperwork done, and then there's a few bits to do regarding what I've actually done to the aircraft, a few bits to fill in, a few bits he's got to countersign, and then in theory it's a paperwork exercise, and I can scan things, send them off to the LAA, and hopefully they'll reply saying fine, done, good to go, and it'll be done. Let's just see, shall we? So Tim's just left. We've done the weight and balance for the aircraft. He's taken some numbers away. He's going to do fill in all the forms and stuff for me, because I'm not good at that. So he needs to do that. We've got some more paperwork to do. We've got to send things off to the LAA. They've got to be scanned and sent off. We can't fly it until we've got like a yes from the LAA. So they need all the information before I can do that. But I could fill it up now with fuel and run the engine and stuff like that. So that's all good. There's still a few jobs I want to do on it. There's still some like wrinkles and things, so I want to go around it again with a heat gun and stuff like that. I've put some air back in the tyre because in order to get it done, it has to be dead level, so we let some air out the tyre just to make sure it was dead level. So I put the air back in the tyre. Yeah, so there's bits of paperwork and stuff like that to do. And there's duplicate copies of things, any flying controls that were disturbed during the refit of the new skins and stuff. So obviously the wings came off, and the flaps, the ailerons, anything, any control surfaces, any linkages, anything like that, the pins that go on the wings, on the bottom of the spars, things like that, it all got to be countersigned. Write it down and countersign it. So I say I've done it. He goes, yeah, you did. And the same with the fuel system. Anything that's got disturbed, he needs to have a second signature next to it, just to have another set of eyes, really. So yeah, she's back together, and she's pretty much good to go. So we're almost there. Got the headsets and things back in it, and the radio and stuff. I left it outside for a week because I was hoping someone would come around and Tim would come around and look at it, but he was a bit busy, so it wants a bit of a wipe off. But yeah, it's basically done. So we're just waiting for paperwork to be sorted, and then we've got to take it for a test flight. So that should be all right. It should be fine. I think might even be better because it's got better skins. So yeah, that's where we are with it now. So and the weather's quite nice, so it would be nice to get out there, because I missed off so many nice days recently not flying. Well, I've been doing it since January, so, and we're now at the end of May. What I thought was going to take me 2 weeks has taken me this long, every weekend on my own in this hangar. A few people helped me at the end, which is cool. So, you know, Tim, my dad, Jack, so that's cool. But yeah, pretty much miserable days coming down, and yeah, but it's done, and we could go flying, and hopefully the skins will last many years. After doing the weight and balance the other day, it turns out that none of the figures are quite the same as the original. They're a little bit off. It should have lost weight, if anything, because there's a few bits that aren't on there anymore. It's no fuel, and it's empty weight. So this floor, as you can see, is rubbish. So if you put scales on there, even on the wood, you level everything off, it'll only take like ½ inch turn of the scales, and they read differently. So what I've got to do now is I've got to go and hopefully get the works van and go to Bembridge and pick up some proper scales, very heavy. Going to get some proper scales from Bembridge, bring them here at Sandown, and go in a hangar, a proper hangar with a concrete floor, smooth concrete floor, which is a bit more level, and we're going to do it all again. So we're going to do the weight balance again and get proper figures, because we're a bit unsure. Tim's a bit unsure about the figures too. So that's what we're going to do this week, hopefully, if I can get the van. And then once we've got the figures, then we can send everything away paperwork wise, and then wait for the all clear, hopefully from the LAA, and they'll say it's good to go, and we can give it a test flight and go from there. So that is the plan in the coming week. Update for you. So it has been absolutely ages since I've been down here. So I've been down here every single weekend since December, on my own, in all weathers, working on the thing, trying to get it sorted out, and relying on other people, the LAA. So I put all the paperwork in, and they've had it for literally a month, and they've only just replied to it. So yeah, a couple of bits, but nothing, was just something I forgot to send them, but I've done that. So they've actually given it a permit, or approved it to fly, test flight, for that. So we are going to take it up a little bit later on today. It's Sunday, but we're not going to do it because it's really hot. So it was either early morning or late in the evening. So I'm going to do it tonight, when it's just nice and there's no one here and it's just lovely. So we're going to do that a little bit later on. So we're going to fuel it up and go over it. I'm going to do some engine runs and things like that as well, because the permit is due to run out as well. So it's like, and you need a test flight for the permit and you need a test flight for the skins. So the test flight for the skins will cover the permit. So that's the idea. So Tim's going to meet me here a little bit later, and we're going to go through it and hopefully do the permit renewal as well. Does mean until they get the permit, it's until I get the proper permit, it will be grounded until I get that. But hopefully the turnaround won't be too long. But things are happening now. But that wait was really annoying. You look in the magazine, all they do is go to dinner and things like that and talk about it. But if they kept the aeroplanes flying, or had some more people on engineering, it would make life a lot easier for a lot more people. You know, it's not like it's been crashed and it needs to be rebuilt. I can understand you having to wait a while for people to look and go through things like that. But for other things, it's supposed to be a minor mod. But hey, that's just me whinging. Sorry. So yeah, so we filled in this book, which is the aircraft logbook. That's all up to date, because Tim needs to sign that and put his numbers in there. That one there is the engine logbook, so that's all done. We've got these are the check flight sheets that you need to go up with you. I've done 2 copies in case I go wrong. So yeah, you can take some up and then write it neater. With all the things on there, the loading, engine runs, taxiing, takeoff, climb, all the usual stuff. And it needs one doing anyway, so that's fine, that's all standard. Repeat mod, that's what the bit of paper is for a repeat mod. Some lucky person's going flying. So yeah, aircraft covers in Xlam, yeah, all LAA stuff, repeat mod proposal, all that. And these are the worksheets that we did, which just explains, just wrote down. You could go into massive detail, but you know, basically in what order you did it. The engineer, that's the engineer, that's me, and that's the inspector. So me, inspector, me, inspector, me, inspector, me, inspector. So take off things and then sort of fit things. Any extra bits of work that I did while it was all in pieces. And then we've got duplicate inspection records. That's for anything, any flying surfaces and things like that. So fit the wings, tail, refit covering, blah, 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 blah. All the stuff that we put back on. So yeah, so all the paperwork's there. That's been sent off to the LAA. That's what they've had for over a month. So yeah, and on my phone, which I'm looking at you on, it's got my permit release to take it up for a test flight. So that's all good, and that's what we're going to do a little bit later. So I'm going to go and get some fuel, because it's still bone dry, it's empty. So I'm going to go and get 20 litres of nice fresh fuel, put 20 in each side, and then mark off, because I haven't put any in since done the sight glasses. So I'm going to mark off 20 litres on each side for the sight glasses, so I know that that's how much is in there. And just go around it, have a little look round, probably do some engine runs on the floor today, and then later on today I'll come back and hopefully Tim will come down and sign some bits of paper, and then I'll take it for its test flight. I haven't flown for a long time. The rule is if you haven't flown for 3 months, you've got to do, you can't take a passenger, you've done 3 takeoffs and landings. And like I said before, if you take off, you've got to land. So I'll run it around the block, do a circuit, come back, what they call a shakedown, just to see if there's anything weird. And then do another couple of those, and then I'll have to get someone to sit in there, really, because it's got to be up to 90% of its maximum weight before you do all the flight checks and things. So need to make it that weight. So we need to do some sums, and yeah. But it's a really hot day, which does affect, obviously. But hopefully later on it'll calm down and it'll be nice. It's lovely anyway now, but can't take it up just yet. So yeah, so that's the plan. Everything else is pretty much done on it, and she's good to go. So let's see what happens later on. Right, we've put 20 litres in each tank, and I pulled it through. We've bled the gasculator just to draw the fuel through, and it's filled up its nice brand new fuel filter. We just checked the oil there, and that's golden and lovely and where it's supposed to be. So we're just going to do a few more checks, and then we're going to try and fire it up. Not sure if it's going to start or not. Let's find out, shall we? Okay, let's see what happens. So we will select a tank. We will select the right tank because it's got further for the fuel to go. So I'll make sure that that one's actually primed properly. What I'm going to do is turn the key. I just hope this battery's got enough power in it, otherwise I'm going to have to jump it. Turn the key and foot on the brakes, throttle forwards a couple of times. We're going to give it some choke just to pull the fuel through, but we're not going to turn the mags on yet. We don't want it to fire, we're just going to see if it will turn over. So clear prop. Right, now the moment of truth. Let's see if it fires up. Go on, girl. Go on, girl. Yeah, that's not bad, not bad. Considering it hasn't run for about 7 months. Good girl. That's pulling it from that tank. Give it a minute. Check the T's and B's over here. That's very good. Good. They're coming up. Over to the other tank to get the air out. Might sputter for a bit. She's good. Cool. Happy with that. Okay, it's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. It's not as hot as it was this morning or today. So 7 months later, I'm taxiing to the end of 2-3, and we're going to do 3 takeoffs and landings in order to have someone in this seat to record the results for the flight test. That's what we're going to do. We're going to use the entire runway for obvious reasons. We'll do a shakedown one first, so we'll go around, check everything's as it should be, and then do a couple more if everything's good, and then we'll carry on and do the test. Tim's going to come up with me, and hopefully record all the results. We've done a ground run, we've done an engine ground run, and that was all good. We haven't really touched the engine, to be fair. Currently trying to avoid the rabbits. Loads of rabbits and loads of crows. I hope I don't get a bird strike. But so taxis 2-3, and then we'll go up. good news and bad news. Good news, it flew, which is brilliant. The wings didn't fall off and it's still in one piece. Very nice, but it's very choppy up there. Even at this time of night, it's really choppy. So I've done 3 takeoffs and landings, which means I can take a passenger to record the results. But at the moment, it's too all over the place at the moment. So it was sketchy sort of coming back in. A little bit of problem with the throttle. You shut the throttle down and the engine stops, or it tries to. So I had to keep the revs on. But in order to if you keep the revs on, you're going too fast. So all my landings were a bit too fast, which is not good, because that's one of my things that I never quite got right. Was always my landings were always too fast, too high, too fast. So yeah, you can't really do it if the revs are stuck on. So we're going to do it tomorrow morning, about 7:30, I think, tomorrow morning, and it should be lovely and calm and brilliant. So yeah, we're almost there, and then we can get all the stuff done and sent away. But yeah, it flew, and she did very, very well today. So happy days. It turns out the weather was bad and it got worse for the next few days. It has been blowing a hoolie, cancelled ferries and things like that, so it's not ideal to go flying. So permit has run out technically, but Tim's given me you get a 30-day extension to do a flight test, so he's given me a permit to do that. It is now Friday. It is the 18th. It's my nipper's birthday. Happy birthday, Charlie. And yeah, so we're gonna go up today. I got it was either going to be three 25-litre containers of water as my ballast. I was going to jot it all down, but I think my mate Jack is on the way, so he's about 12 stone, just over 12 stone, and with the amount of fuel in it and me, it's pretty much spot on. So it's got to be, like I said before, up to 90% of its weight. So this is pretty good math. So that's what we're going to try and do today. Whether we achieve it or not, I don't know. It's a little bit as a crosswind, which is annoying, and it's going down the runway now, so it might have changed. But so we're going to give it a quick once over. It won't really need anything. The fuel's as it should be, and then hopefully go up and record the results. It is a flight test. It's not a jolly, so you're going up to record stuff, then come back down, and then that's it. You've got to wait. You can't just like go, that's it, done, let's go on and out in somewhere. So it's basically the final part of the permit renewal, and also for the mod for the skins as well, all rolled into one. So that is what I'm going to do today. Let's see how we do, eh? This is the check flight sheet. This is the nice clean one that we haven't written on yet. So I did 2 copies. So when we go up, we're going to scribble on one and then make it a bit neater on here. But this gives you an idea of what you got to do. So they're checking you for all the documentations and things. So is it UK registered, insurance, flight release, which is, we've got a flight release for it. Qualified to fly the type, yes I am, yes I have, and all that kind of stuff. Loading, so we get you to add up all the weights and everything like that, and you write them down, whether it's in kilograms or pounds. And then we've got the center of gravity. Engine runs, so we run the engine, we check the static RPM, the max you can get, if the brakes hold, maximum oil pressure, minimum oil pressure, things like that. Then we go on to ground checks, controls. It'll be they're in the correct sense, so it means when you pull the ailerons or whatever, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Taxiing, check the brakes and things like that. Obviously some things this aircraft doesn't have. It does have brakes, they're not very good, but it does have brakes. Takeoff, you do a takeoff run, it tells you what to do with that. The climb, that's the one we need to do in the sky, really. So you got to climb from you got to do 1,000 feet. So whether you start from 500 feet and you get it stabilized and you count from there, or you go up a bit higher and then do from like 1,000 to 2,000 feet or whatever. You got to be clear of turbulent air, so we may have to go higher in order to get out of it. Normally around here at Sandown, about 1,000 feet is when everything sort of goes wrong, which is when you're landing and where everyone's watching you. So it does get a bit bumpy sometimes, and obviously being this close to the sea, that can affect your landings and stuff as well. So we do get affected by that here. Sandown is about, well, it's 55 feet above sea level, 55, 60 feet above sea level. System functions, so controls, check the controls for all the bits and pieces. Instrumentation, whatever ones you've got. Engine and propeller, this is a fixed pitch wooden prop, so it's nice and simple. VHF comms, so we check the radio. You've got to be 20 nautical miles away, so we're going to have to go to the other side of the island to and then do a radio call just to check that they can still hear us. Navigation equipment, whatever you have. Some things you do, some things you don't. That's the one we've got to do. Stalls, so from a safe altitude, so go out the way somewhere, no one around, and it says what to do there. So you do it, stalls, you get a what's that, artificial stall warning. It doesn't have that. So natural buffet speed and minimum airspeed achieved, so with flaps up and with flaps down, and in what we're doing in miles an hour, this thing. So we tick that box, and then yeah, you note down anything that's gone weird, note that down on there. Maximum speed check, so when it is giving it fully guns, you're not over revving it. That's important because you don't want to knack your engine, and you want to make sure it can get to maximum, but you don't want to go over maximum, but you want to make sure that if it is at maximum, it's not doing anything weird. You know, it's not throwing you around or vibrating or anything like that. So that's for that one. Simulated go around, yeah, we can do that. Landing, anything weird on the landing, and then yeah, pilot's name, pilot signature, I sign them, and then that's kind of it. That's what we need to do today. But like I said, it is a flight check. It's not a DOS around, so it's got to be done. It's got to be done properly. I've just given it a run and checked it over, and she's good to go. I'm just waiting for my ballast to turn up. He should be here in a little while. Then we'll do a few little sums, tell him what we're going to do. Tell him he's probably going to get thrown around, especially in the stalls, but it's all right. Stalls are okay if you know they're coming. It's when you don't know. It's when you don't know they're coming that they're horrible. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. Well, that's it, it's done. I had a little bit of a whinge about the LEA taking ages to look at the paperwork and stuff like that. But I sent the paperwork for the new permit on a Sunday. No one works on a Sunday. And did it all online with their new system. And unbelievably, I got a permit at about 11:30 on a Monday. So that's pretty quick, because you used to have to wait quite a while for those. So we're done. It has a brand new permit for a whole year. So new skins, new permit, new loads of stuff. So it's complete. We've done the job. We finished the job. There's always going to be something that needs to be done, but just what it's about, isn't it? But at least we can actually go up and fly it and, you know, try and enjoy it a little bit. Bit cloudy at the moment. It's a Sunday evening, and yeah, windsocks a bit blowy, but I don't care. I'm going to go up anyway. Nothing the aircraft can't handle. So let's go and do a bit of flying, and it'll be fun. So thanks for watching. Any questions, then you can ask me if you like, and I'll answer them if I can. And that's it. RANS S6 covering, new permit, done. If you want to learn to fly, your nearest airfield, obviously on the Isle of Wight down here. Microlight stuff's Aiden. Speak to him if you want the GA stuff. It's a guy called Jim Burney, and he'll take you up in the heavier stuff. But it's yeah, do it. It's great fun, and you can learn from the age of 14. And I think you can do your test at 16. So you can actually be flying you can fly an aeroplane or a microlight before you can ride a 125 motorbike. So yeah, it is great fun. It is great fun, and you can share with someone as well if you need to. So you can, you know, share 5, 10, 20 ways. 20 ways is the legal limit, but yeah, you can share it. But the trouble is, when it's a nice day, everyone wants to fly, as I've said before. But yeah, it's great fun to do, and go in with someone, and half your costs. Hangarage is the most expensive thing, but you got to keep them undercover. Don't have a lot of choice. But yeah, and use it. So even if you go for a test flight, don't do half an hour. It's not worth it. If you're going to go for a test flight, do the hour and see what it's like. And if you like it and you get the bug, then yeah, do it. It's great fun. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going flying. See you later.